What's going on, guys? I'm Zach, your host of the Auxoro podcast, and welcome to the inaugural Whiskey and Onesie chat. So, I have some coffee and whiskey in my cup this morning, put some fire in my cup, so feel free to join me. I'm rocking some Eagle Rare at the moment, so hopefully they sponsor this segment. And the reason why I wanted to do this chat, first of all, is because I'm pretty uncomfortable talking to the camera face to face. When I'm doing a podcast, it's fine because the camera guy is not necessarily on me directly, but I realize that I'm pretty nervous. Like there's like a nervous energy that I feel when I talk to the camera, and I kind of wanted to work on that a little bit. So I'm gonna take an awkward sip, and then I'm gonna jump right in. Coffee and whiskey is a great combo. So the main topic of this conversation is going to be gratefulness for health, overall health. And I'm someone through my entire life that has always been grateful. I've always had good health, but I haven't always been grateful for it. I've been dealt a great biological hand. I grew up with a fantastic family, great parents, two amazing brothers, but on top of that, I also had a good hand dealt to me. I've never had any serious health problems. I've had a couple surgeries that were just athletic related to baseball, nothing health wise. And other than that, I've been great. Haven't had any trouble. A few months ago, I started volunteering at an organization called Helping Hands in New York City. And they help mostly blind people, but it can be anyone that needs help doing basic tasks like shopping or getting shopping for clothes, buying groceries, sending emails, doing things around the house, like anything that you need help with that you can't really do by yourself. They send helpers like myself with hands. That kind of looked like a boob grab. That was not appropriate for that. But take a sip. Take a sip for that awkwardness. But yeah, so the Helping Hands organization, they send people like me to help out with these people that can't really do the daily tasks themselves. And so this past weekend, I was assigned a man that has MS, multiple sclerosis, and I don't really know the scientific definition of MS, but I do know that your muscles basically go to waste, that they gradually deteriorate, and then you lose the ability to do basic things like walk or use your arms. This guy was sitting in bed, and that had been his life for 10 plus years. So I got to this guy's apartment in the city, and he was sitting in bed with a laptop and a kind of this desk that slid back and forth across his chest, and he was lying horizontally, and he was looking out the window, and he was telling me that he used to be in commercial real estate. So every day this guy would walk and show people homes, and he was very active. He wrestled when he was in high school. He enjoyed athletics, and now he's not able to do any of that. And his reality is that he wakes up every morning. He stays in bed. He has an aide that is with him 24 hours a day, and he asks her to do certain stuff. But other than that, he's basically just lying in bed and using his laptop now to communicate with people. And he can't really use his hands to do it. So the way he does it is that he uses voice commands, and he basically just says start, wake up, and the laptop wakes up, and he has to say, open this file, and then these words to type in, and then press search. And he has to use all these voice commands. Like a simple Google search may take 3 or 4 minutes to do which takes a normal person, someone that doesn't have MS like me, 5 seconds. You just open the Google tab and you type something in, hit the enter bar. And so I was helping him send some emails. Something that he said normally takes him 2 or 3 hours, probably finished it in 15 minutes, everything that he had to do. And then other than that, I was kind of setting him up to listen to some podcasts, watch some YouTube videos, and put some commands on his Alexa, because he had an Alexa, so that he could just say things and then he could listen to whatever podcast. So I was kind of, as someone who enjoys podcasts, I was kind of giving him some tips or podcasts that I enjoy that he could listen to throughout the week. And this whole interaction, this guy was super happy. He was smiling. He kept saying how grateful he was for, someone to set this up for him, which, I'm happy to do. That's the reason why I was there. And he's grateful that he's even waking up in the morning, even though he can't even leave his bed. He still seemed super happy and in a way energetic. Even though he couldn't move at all, he still had this like energetic quality about him, like this aura about him. And I just kept thinking, if I was in that situation, if I had to lived 30 or 40 years being able to walk, being able to throw a baseball, being able to run, being able to work out, and then all that was taken away from me, I don't know if I would be able to have that same outlook. And it would be really hard for me to not just be bitter and think about everything that I used to be able to do. And this guy realized that, like, he knew all the things that he could be doing if he didn't have MS, but his outlook did not reflect that. It didn't seem like he was bitter about anything. And I just, I couldn't believe how, he was going out of the way to, tell me jokes and keep me happy during the interaction. And yeah, it made me realize that I don't reflect on my own good health, which is, the topic of this talk. I wake up, the first thing I do is get out of bed in the morning. I put my 2 feet on the ground and I get out of bed. And just being able to do that on my own is a blessing, because no one has to help me do it. There are thousands of people, maybe millions of people around the world that may even be as young as me, 25, 26, that need help just to get out of bed or wipe their ass or do whatever. And I was standing there, and this guy had a bag of pee on the bed, and I kept kind of looking at it, because it just made me think, this guy can't even pee on himself. He has a catheter inside him, and he just pees, and an aide comes and takes that away. So he doesn't even have the pleasure of walking up to a toilet and peeing and using the bathroom on his own. But I don't reflect on those moments where I am using my body, I'm being active, I work out 4 or 5 times a week. I can brush my teeth, do my hair, walk down flights of stairs, do all of this shit that I rarely stop and think how much of a blessing it is to have my health and be able to move, every part of my body, to be able to drink coffee even. And until what day was that? It was Saturday. I don't know how long I went without really thinking about that. It must have been years. But on Saturday after I left, that was the only thing I was thinking about. I was thinking, thank God I am able to do the things I'm able to do. And it took me sitting across a man that had almost zero physical capacity. You could tell his voice was starting to go too. I think that has a little bit to do with MS. He seemed like he was losing control of his voice, and his vocal cords were really weak. So pretty soon he may not even be able to speak. He may just have to use an eye communicator for his computer. But I don't know if I would have realized that if I hadn't been sitting across from him. So I think, you know, spending time with people that don't have the same physical and mental capacity as you, one, it's great just to help them out in general, which also, it kind of want to sidetrack to another point. When I was growing up, volunteering was always proposed to me as something that sucked. Like, volunteering is such a huge sacrifice. It's a self-sacrifice. You shouldn't, like, it just wasn't like a sexy thing to do. Like, you volunteer because you want to put it on your resume, and you're not going to like it. You just have to do this twice a week and suck it up, and it's going to look good for the future. And you do it now, and it's like something that you don't really enjoy. Like, no one talks about to me how much they loved volunteering. But now I think volunteering, you should be selfish about your volunteering. You should pick things that you enjoy doing anyway, and then use that to help other people. So for me, I enjoy going to the supermarket. I enjoy picking out clothes. Like, I enjoy things that involve a checklist. Like it's very satisfying. A lot of times when I help people in helping hands, they have a list of things to do, and they say, okay, we have to go to Whole Foods, or we have to go to Nordstrom Rack, pick up all this stuff. And I get to walk around New York City and have deep conversations with people, and at the same time help them out. And I'm a podcaster, so I love doing that. Even when I was helping out this guy on Saturday with MS, most of the time we were just talking for 3 or 4 hours. I would say 80% of that was just talking, and the other 20%, like, I could have been in and out in 20, 30 minutes and done everything on his list. But he wanted to talk, and I enjoyed myself. So I think that volunteering is great, and it doesn't have to be something that's 100% altruistic, because for me it's not. I enjoy the things that I do when I'm volunteering. I get pleasure out of doing some of these things anyway, and so me getting a chance to do that and help other people is just a plus too. And it doesn't, I would say, if you're looking to volunteer, I found Helping Hands on the Deed app, DEED. So that's a good place to look. But just think of things that you like doing. Maybe you like reading or playing sports. You can basically type in any category, and it will give you options and just spit out dates and times and organizations that you can help out. So use your own interests to help other people. Don't think of volunteering as like the shitty thing that you have to do and it's going to be a complete drain of your time. I don't think that's true. I reframed my view of how I volunteer, and I think it's definitely possible to enjoy yourself at the same time. So yeah, back to the good health thing. Spending time around people that don't have the same capacity as you is a good way to, one, help them out, and two, just realize how lucky you are if you're watching this and you can sit up and walk around and do all of these activities that normally people don't get the chance to do. And so as I sit here in my multicolored onesie, tie-dye onesie, I guess, and this goes all the way to my feet. There's literally foot pockets, foot slippers as part of this onesie. So I had to have the physical capabilities to put on the onesie this morning. And yeah, just spending time with this guy helped me get to a point where I'm more grateful. I even wrote it down in my journal. There's this slot where, I write a couple things that I'm grateful for at the end of each day, and I said I'm grateful for my health and my ability to move around, because maybe I won't have it. Maybe it'll be gone tomorrow. Maybe I get hit by a car, or I get a debilitating disease. Something takes it away. I won't always have it. So I think the best way to honor the people that don't have those capacities, besides helping them out, is to use yours to the best of your ability, to go hiking, to climb mountains, go snowboarding, just go walk around, do something. Use it to help other people, and use it to live a fulfilling life, because for a lot of people, that's not an option. So thank you for listening to the inaugural whiskey and onesie chat, and I will see you guys next time.